Hello viewers, today is Monday, September 30th, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the US presidential elections 2024. Today I would like to discuss about the battleground state of Georgia. I would like to go and look at how the state of Georgia voted in 2016 and 2020. So I would like to dig into the data as to exactly how many counties were won by each parties and how did they do in the big cities and how did the Democrats do in the rural areas and how did Trump do in the big cities and whatnot. So let's go straight into the data. So first, let's look at the voter turnout. In 2016, we had a voter turnout of 4,146,825 voters in the state of Georgia. And in 2020, it increased all the way up to almost 5 million voters who participated in the 2020 election. It's partly due to the fact that a lot of mail-in ballots were sent out because of COVID. A lot of people voted by mail, but still it was a significant increase from 2016. So we had close to 5 million voters in 2020 who participated in that election. Then if you come and look at how each party won or how many counties that each party won, in 2016, Hillary won 31 counties in Georgia, and Donald Trump won around 128 counties in Georgia. In 2020, Joe Biden won 30 counties. He didn't win one county that Hillary won in 2016, and Donald Trump won 129 counties in the state of Georgia. So moving on. So this is the map of 2020 election in Georgia. So if you look at it, Joe Biden did very well in this area, which is basically Atlanta and its suburbs. Atlanta is there. Atlanta is in Fulton County, but it also extends into DeKalb County. So if you look at it, he has done very well in the Atlanta area, the suburbs of Atlanta. And he has also picked up some counties like Talbot, Muskogee, and Macon, and other counties down south here. And he has also picked up counties like Richmond and Jefferson and Washington over here. So this is the map in terms of victories for Democrats. And as you could see, Trump has pretty much won all the rural counties, and he has won all the smaller counties, but still it all adds up, and he was able to give a very tough fight to Joe Biden. Moving on. So now let's look at this voter composition in 2016. In 2016, you had around 54% of voters that came from the counties that Democrats won, meaning Hillary Clinton won. So 54% of the total electorate were from the counties that Hillary Clinton won, and 46% of the electorate came from the counties that Donald Trump won. Then you go and look at the victory margin on the counties that Hillary Clinton was able to win. She won around 31 counties in the margin of 60.93% to 34.29%. So she had around 26% margin on the counties that she won. You look at the same number for Donald Trump. He has won 128 counties at the margin of like around 69.49% to 26.70%. So he had a huge margin of around 44% against Hillary on those counties that he won. But using that same voter composition for the 2020, if you look at it, 53% of the voters came from the counties that Joe Biden won, and 47% of the electorate came from the counties that Donald Trump won. So this, you look at it and compare it with 2016, this is kind of counterintuitive. Everybody was thinking that if the voter turnout increases, it's generally going to help the Democrats because a lot of voters are in the big cities, in and around Atlanta, the suburbs of Atlanta. So they all thought that the higher turnout is going to help the Democrats. It did help the Democrats, but if you look at it, it has also helped the Republicans in the sense that a lot of Republicans voters also came to the polls in 2020. And again, this could be due to COVID. Everybody got a mail-in ballot. But nevertheless, this is very counterintuitive if you look at it from a general election perspective before 2016. A higher voter turnout always helps the Democrats. But in this case, that Republican voters also came. So Donald Trump did defy some of those conventional wisdom and logic. Then if you look at the victory margin for Joe Biden in the counties that he won around 30 counties. So if you look at that, you would see that he has won his counties an average of 66.48% to 32.21%. So he had a healthy 34% lead on the counties that he won. And if you look at the same for Donald Trump, he won 68.64% on average on the counties that he won against 30%, around 30% that Joe Biden won. So now if you want to compare it with 2016 numbers, if you look at Hillary's numbers and Joe Biden's numbers, on the counties that Joe Biden won, he won with a margin of 66.48%, whereas Hillary won only 60.93%. So there is a 6% gap. So Joe Biden outperformed Hillary Clinton by almost 6% on the counties that they both won. Similarly, if you look at the victory margin for Donald Trump, he did not lose much in 2020. He lost close to probably 1%. So he was able to maintain more or less his winning percentage on the counties. But look at the Joe Biden numbers. He was able to get almost 3.4% more than Hillary Clinton. So he was able to get 3.4% more than Hillary Clinton. So that is why he was able to win the state of Georgia in 2020. He did very well on the counties that Democrats are supposed to do, and he outperformed Hillary Clinton's numbers by almost 6%. And he also outperformed Hillary Clinton's numbers on the counties that Donald Trump won by almost 3.4%. So that's why he was able to win, and that's the recipe for victory for the Democrats in the state of Georgia. So if you look at 2024 now, Donald Trump would be looking to replicate his numbers from 2016. He would like to get up to around 69-70% of the votes in the counties that he's going to win. And he would like to hold Kamala Harris to around 25% in those counties that he's going to win. And also he's going to make sure that he doesn't lose the counties, the counties that Democrats are going to win by such a huge margin. He would like to bring his percentage to around 35% here. And that's what he will be looking to do to win the state of Georgia. From Kamala Harris' perspective, she should be looking to improve the Joe Biden numbers. She would like to get around 68-69% on the counties that she's likely to win. And also she would like to increase the numbers on the counties that Donald Trump is going to win by around another 2-3%, so that she can be assured of a victory in the state of Georgia. That's how both are going to look at. Let's look at some of the top counties for each one of them. So let's go to the next slide. So in 2016, these are the top 10 counties for Hillary Clinton. And let's look at her performance. She won the county, Fulton County, by 67%. And the margin was like 40%. So she got 67% of the votes. The total votes on that county was 438,751. She got 297,000 of them. Similarly, look at Cobb. Her vote percentage was like under 50. Her margin was only 2.16%. Gwinnett, her margin was 5.79. Her vote percentage was 50. DeKalb, she did very well. Fulton and DeKalb, that's Atlanta suburbs. Atlanta city actually is in Fulton, but also extends into DeKalb. She did very well there as well. She got a very good margin in DeKalb. Her margin against Trump was like around 62%, and the number of votes that time was 317,000. So if you look at each one of these counties, she did very well. Her margin was good. In Henry, her margin was not that great, the Henry County. So these are the 10 big counties that she won. Big in the sense of total number of votes polled on that particular election. Similarly, if you look at the top 10 counties of Joe Biden, he also has the same 10 based on the total number of votes polled on those counties. But if you look at Fulton, you see the difference already here. Hillary won by 67% of the votes polled there. Biden outperformed by almost 5% there. And his margin also is 46% as opposed to 40 for Hillary. And then look at Cobb. His vote percentage again increased by almost 9 percentage points when you look at Hillary's numbers. And his margin also is 14 as opposed to 2 for Hillary. Gwinnett, again, he had an improvement of almost 8% in Gwinnett, and his margin increased significantly from 5.79. It increased to 18.24 for Biden. DeKalb, again, he won 83%. He had a 4% increase from Hillary's numbers, and his margin also increased. So if you look at this, you would see that Joe Biden has outperformed pretty much on all the counties that Hillary won. These are the same counties, but the vote percentage for Biden increased significantly, sometimes in double digits. That's why he was able to win the state of Georgia. Now let's look at the same for Donald Trump. So when you look at his top 10 counties from 2016, he had a very good margin in Cherokee, 49.14%. He got 71% of the vote there. Forsyth, again, he got above 70%. Hall, he got above 70%. And the rest, you look at it on in the high 60s, and then in the 50s, and then in Carroll, he did better, and in Walton as well, he did better. And he had a very good margin across the board. But in 2020, you look at Cherokee, he had 71% in 2016. That got dropped to 68%. It's just 3%, but still, his margin dropped. So every one of those counties that he used to win big, even if it drops 3% to 3%, it adds up for Joe Biden. Forsyth, the same thing. He got 70% in 2016. He got only 65 in 2020. And the margin also dropped significantly. In Forsyth, he had a margin of 46%. It dropped around 33% here. In Hall, again, he won by 70%. This time, that was a drop of just 2%, but nevertheless, the margin, again, from 49, it went down to 43. So you get the idea. The big one is actually Fayette. You look at Fayette, he got 35,000 votes. He got 56% of the votes. The margin was 19.13%. But look at in 2020 at Fayette, he got only 52%, but his margin also dropped to 6.8%. So this is the county that the Harris campaign is going to look at to see if they can reduce this margin from 19 to 6.8 in just one election. They will be trying to flip this county to blue. That's what they will try to do. I will tell you why by going to the next slide. So this is Atlanta and suburbs. Look at where is Fayette. Fayette is the suburbs of Atlanta. So this is changing quite a bit from 2016 to 2020. So they would like to pick up this county in 2024. And then also, Hillary won one extra county than Biden, and that one was this county in Burke. Joe Biden lost only by around 200 points in Burke. Kamala Harris campaign will be looking at Burke to flip this Burke County to blue. And then you also look at here, Quitman, Biden lost by only around 100 some votes. It's not a big county. They have only around 1,000 votes or something. But nevertheless, I believe that Kamala Harris is going to look at this to turn this also into blue. And also the counties like Early, Baker, and another bellwether will be Peach. If I'm looking at election results in the state of Georgia on election night, I will look at Fayette and see whether she's doing well there. And I will also look at Peach. And Peach is also another county where the Democrats can turn this into blue. They lost by a smaller margin in 2020. And if you look at it, this is how they can expand. These are all some of the suburbs, and these are all the places where the Democrats are likely to do well as we go along in 2024 and 2028. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't turn this in 2024 and 2028. Peach will turn blue as well as Fayette, but I'm sure Burke, I think, will turn blue in 2024. So that's how the map looks like right now, and I think both parties have their chances in the state of Georgia. It depends on how each one performs in the counties that the other person is going to win. By that, what I mean is how is Donald Trump is going to perform in 2024 on the counties that Kamala Harris is going to win. And similarly, Kamala Harris is going to look at how she can increase her margin from 30% to 33, 34 on the counties that Donald Trump is going to win. So it's going to be very interesting. I will be looking at some of the counties, as I mentioned before. I will look at Fayette as a bellwether kind of a county to see if Kamala Harris is doing well. If we get the results from Fayette County sooner, and if she does well there, I would say that she's in a good spot. I will also look at Peach on election night. If we get the results from this county sooner, I will see if she's outperforming Biden there. If she does, and it looks like this is a county that she's turning blue, then I think her chances will greatly increase. And so that's how we can look at the election night results and come to our own conclusion. So that's it for me for the state of Georgia. And I'll try to come back to you with another program tomorrow. Till then, take care.